Today I am going through my house to see which products might be environmentally harmful, so come join me. First, we start in the bathroom to look at some of these cosmetic products. I try to buy eco-friendly brands, and you can usually tell if they avoid parabens, phthalates, fragrances, dyes, and other harmful chemicals. There's a big list online of harmful chemicals, and microbeads is another one. These leach into waterways because they're too small to be captured by filtration systems. So check the ingredients list on all of your beauty products. Next, I decided to check out some of the cleaners that I have. Now, this is a hard one because I love bleach. I feel like it's not clean if it's not used with bleach. Bleach can actually be pretty harmful, and I'm not sure I'm quite ready to part with it, but some of these other detergents and cleaners can be quite hazardous. So I'm going to consider a bleach alternative once I've used up the rest of this one. I was surprised to find this ant killer in my house because I'm actually highly opposed to herbicides and pesticides. Most people know that these are incredibly harmful to the environment, and there are plenty of natural alternatives to take care of pests and weeds. And if you look at the back, it even tells you that there are environmental hazards. So I'm not going to use this one up. I'm going to figure out the best way to dispose of it, which is probably at a waste hazard site. This is a hard one for me. Scented candles is on the list because burning anything can create greenhouse gases, even if it's small, and paraffin wax is really not good. It's a petroleum byproduct, but if you can find candles that are made of beeswax and use essential oils, those are a lot more natural. So I don't want to part with scented candles entirely, but I am going to be more conscientious of the ones I buy. Aerosol cans can be problematic, whether it's spray paint, hairspray, or those spray deodorants. So even though the CFC aerosols were banned in the 70s, we still have these pressurized canisters which use hydrocarbons and nitrous oxide, and these can pose a threat to the environment. So I try to use other paint alternatives when possible, but some of my projects actually require spray paint, so I'll try to use it sparingly. And I like to use these wool balls. These are good. So the product to avoid are dryer sheets. So a lot of people don't realize that that nice smell that comes from the dryer sheets actually emits a lot of toxic chemicals. These can even cause respiratory issues. They're not just bad for the environment. Anything with chemicals and fragrances is not going to be the best, and they can't be recycled or composted. So I've made the switch to these wool balls, so no dryer sheets in my house. I've been going through all my art supplies, and I'm looking for any glitter. Glitter is absolutely terrible for the environment because these particles are so small, they get all over everything. It's an absolute nuisance to get rid of. Anything tiny like that, microplastics, they pose a hazard because you can't catch them. You can't always make sure they don't end up in natural areas. So avoid the glitter, and if you do have some, make sure you get it secured and covered with epoxy. A big one that I think almost everyone can find in their home are single-use plastics, whether it's plastic forks and knives or these little sandwich bags. I switched to these reusable bags a long time ago, and I absolutely love them. They're kind of a pain to clean out, but they're great. They work great for sandwiches. I also got these little Tupperware lid covers. So anything that has to be thrown away and can't be used more than once is absolutely terrible for the environment. So not all sunscreens are bad, but some of them can be hazardous, especially the ones that contain chemicals like oxybenzone or octinoxate. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it right. But there are certain chemicals that are pretty bad for plant life, especially coral reefs. So from now on, after I use up this product, I'm going to start shopping for some eco-friendly sunscreen options, or better yet, just limit my sun exposure and cover up with fabrics. And finally, single-use wet wipes. Some people use these to clean and wipe down counters. Some people use single-use makeup wipes. And some people use paper towels for cleaning. All of these are bad because they're disposable. They're not the greatest. So opt for a cloth when you can, a reusable towel. These can be washed and reused multiple times. So what should we do with these toxic products that we find in our homes that could potentially harm the environment? Well, some people will keep them in the actual container and dispose of them. If it's something that's hazardous, like pesticides, you can bring them to one of the centers that handles hazardous materials. If it's something just cosmetic, like, I don't know, a face cleanser that has the microbeads in it, you can either use it up, which I tend to do. I try to use up the rest of a product that I've purchased, but if you feel it's better to just discard it, it's best to leave it in its packaging and put it in the regular trash. A lot of these products cannot be recycled, and trying to put any of them in the recycling bin is only going to cause more work and more problems for recycling centers. So for me personally, I try to use up these products. A product like glitter that we don't want getting out everywhere, I make sure that it's sealed on whatever art project it is, and that maybe there's a layer of gloss or epoxy over it so that it doesn't escape. And then the rest of them I use up. If the container can be recycled once it's been properly cleaned out, I put it in the recycling bin. But soon I'll be talking about some really great alternatives to some of these products, and if you know of any of your own, please share them in the comments section.
10 easy lifestyle changes for a greener life. Number 1, shop in season and buy your food from the farmer's market. Buying local is good for the community, it's often healthier, and it's a greener way to live. Number 2, borrow instead of buy. If someone has tools you can use or clothes that you need to borrow, consider just taking them and giving them back instead of having to buy new ones. Number 3, start an herb garden or any kind of garden and start growing your own produce. Also consider planting native plants that are good for pollinators. Number 4, use cast iron skillets instead of the non-stick cookware. Cast iron is better and more durable, and I just think it cooks more nicely. When giving gifts, instead of buying an item, buy an experience such as movie tickets, or a gift certificate to your favorite restaurant, or something that a person can use instead of new stuff. Fill your home with houseplants. Plants are great, not just for the air quality, but they also look beautiful. Find clever ways to reuse water. For instance, you can let boiled water cool off and use it to water plants. You can save water from other jobs and use it for other purposes like cleaning. Skip the dry cleaners and learn how to clean your delicate items at home by yourself. This can save you money, and it's also more environmentally friendly. Consider riding a bike instead of driving a vehicle. If you have good public transportation in your city, that's also a good option. And finally, bring your to-go items with you everywhere you go. I like to bring Tupperware to restaurants so that I don't have to use a to-go box, along with my to-go mug and my reusable water bottle. Today I'm focusing on swapping out single-use items for reusable ones, and here are my 10 favorite. Number 1, plastic bags. Plastic bags are incredibly wasteful and cannot be recycled. Opt for grocery totes instead. I always try to keep a grocery tote or some kind of a reusable bag in my trunk. They're also very handy because they hold a lot more groceries than the regular plastic bags, and they're far less likely to rip. Number 2, single-use coffee pods. Now, I love my Keurig, but these single-use coffee pods are so wasteful, so it's better to use a French press or a coffee maker that you can reuse multiple times. You can also use the little reusable cups in the Keurig. Number 3, napkins and paper towels. Now, I do love some paper towels, but they are wasteful because you can't use them more than once. But you can compost them if you're just not willing to part with them. But if you can opt for cloth napkins and cloth paper towels, or cloth towels, excuse me, these are much more useful. You can just wash them after you've used them, and they're more durable too. A big one on the list is bottled water. It's a myth that bottled water is better than tap water. Tap water is perfectly fine, and you can even get a filter if you want, and you can bring your water with you when you use a reusable thermos or mug. I personally like my Nalgene. I keep it frozen, which is great for this hot weather. And you don't have to go out and buy a brand new reusable water bottle. Any reusable water bottle will do. So swap out those plastic bottles for something you can use more than once. A lot of people don't realize that dryer sheets aren't just bad for the environment, they can also cause respiratory issues because of the harsh chemicals used in them. I've recently made the swap to these wool dryer balls, and they work great. I actually really love them. You can add essential oils to them if you want the laundry to smell nice. They help cut down on the static. All you have to do is take one and toss it in the dryer, and then your clothes will be less staticky, and you can use it multiple times, and they're also compostable. Menstrual products can be a real problem because most of them are not flushable and not reusable. If you have a heavy flow, I recommend the Diva Cup, and if you have a light flow, consider reusable panty liners. Another item I no longer keep in my kitchen is aluminum foil and plastic wrap. Both of these are very wasteful, and you really don't need them if you've got beeswax. These beeswax wraps are reusable. And what I like even better are these silicone food wraps because you can wrap them around bowls. I have a couple on hand, and I've found them to be incredibly useful. There are several different sizes to fit different types of utensils and different shapes too. Some are square and some are circular. And all you have to do is take them and just wrap them over the top of the bowl wherever your food is, and they work great. So ditch the plastic wrap or use up what's left of your plastic wrap and make the swap. It's totally worth it. Plastic straws are very wasteful and single use. If you're not a big fan of the metal straws, they also have silicone straws. I don't care for the paper straws, but I love the silicone ones. Disposable forks, knives, and plates and cups are an absolute hazard for the environment. Now, most of these are washable, like you could use them again, but they're not really intended for that use. It's always better if you're having guests, just use your regular cups and plates. And if you're on the go, there's this awesome set of bamboo cutlery with plates and chopsticks that works great. And finally, disposable coffee cups. Most coffee shops will allow you to bring your own cup in, whether it's a thermos or one of those reusable mugs. I absolutely love my reusable mug that I got at a local coffee shop. I actually have more than one reusable mug, and they are so handy. I keep one in my car anytime I go to a restaurant and I want to take my coffee to go, and I always keep a second one around just in case a friend needs to borrow one. What's your favorite eco-friendly swap?